Greetings and salutations, FLGers. This is FLG Chili, and I'm doing a bit of a new thing today because I'm doing both. I'm doing a Let's Play and a review, really, but I'm doing it of both a game and a recording and activation product. The app I'm running is Mobizen for Samsung, and it's been designed for the Samsung phone to allow you to control your mobile via the PC. So once it's synced either by Wi-Fi or by USB data cable, you have like a mini version of your phone on the screen that allows you to click and run your phone entirely just from the PC. Now, unfortunately, I've not found a way for it to let me to record via the PC headset, so you've got a lot of background noise because my PC fan sounds like an aeroplane at the moment. But aside from that, it's a brilliant app. It's really handy, especially for playing games on, because you then get a beautiful full screen on the PC if you want to set it up that way. Or you can just have it as a little thing running on the side. You can type in using your PC keyboard, all that kind of stuff, and use the mouse to control. So it's really handy, and it leads me on to the next thing that I'm going to do, which is reviewing a little game. So I'll actually finish the game first so that you can see the intro screen. Click on it here to get it started. And it's called Summoner's War Sky Arena. Now it's a free to play game. Some people say it's pay to win because the more money you put in, the more chance you have of getting good stuff. But you can enjoy it and do pretty well on it without paying at all. So it's one of the best mobile games I've played for a while. Does take up a lot of space and drains the battery quite a bit though, but it is well worth picking up, especially if you like games like Pokemon and don't mind games that are quite grindy. Then this is definitely the kind of game you want to look into. Now, as you can see for the loading screen straight away, it's very much fan service for teenage boys, but some of the art styles are quite cool, some of the monsters are quite cool. Now, as you load in, you get your island. So I'll zoom it out a wee bit, let you see the island. A bunch of buildings that do different things that you'll earn as you go up in levels. And you can see more monsters walking about the island. And one of them's leveled up, so that's a good thing. So straight away to start off, before we go into what any of the stuff does, we'll click on monsters. You'll get to see my monster collection. Now, first off, you see this one has 6 stars. 6 star is the highest amount of stars a monster can have. You get them by leveling up. Level 40 is the highest level you can go. And purple means it's been awakened, which means you gather materials by doing dungeons and then use it to awaken a monster. It can change its properties, give it bonuses. As you can see on the right hand side as well, there's a load of stats that the monsters have. So let's go to a really basic monster here first. So we have a 2 star here, 2 star Yeti. And you can see its stats aren't very high because it's level 1. Now, as it gets XP, it can max out at level 20. And that's as high as it can go until you awaken it. But, as you can see, you have a look at skills. It has 2 skills. You see there's a description of the skill there, and then there is, greyed out here, is what the skill levels do. And I'll explain skilling up a monster in a minute. And also, there's the second skill. When you awaken it, you can see there, it gains a skill. So that there gives you the 3rd skill just by awakening it. And it gets an increase in stats by being awakened. So we'll hop out of there just now just to show you the power up a monster. This is where I can give a monster XP by feeding it another monster. But what we'll do is, where is it? So we have a 2-star monster there. Now it's a maximum level 20. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on 2 monsters. Now power up would give it experience by eating the monsters. Evolving it means we make it a 3-star. So we do that, we'll let the animation run, and bang, it now becomes a 3-star monster. As you can see, it starts off at level 1, but it can now go up to level 25. When it reaches 25, you would then need to put 3-star monsters in to make it a 4-star, and so on and so forth. Now some monsters are only worth leveling up to certain levels. Not every monster is worth getting up to level 40. You then got runes. Runes are what add versatility to the game. So rather than having everyone exactly the same, runes drop, you can buy them in the shop, and they drop from certain dungeons that you do. As you can see here, I've got different runes in. Now you see set effects, I mean I've got 2 of the energy set effect and 1 of the endure. Now if we go into energy here, you see what it does. It's 2 set, so I need 2 runes to activate 1 set bonus, and it gives me 15% of my HP as a bonus. I have that twice, meaning I get a total of 30% bonus HP. And endure is, oh, it's there. When you have 2 endure runes, you get 20% bonus to your resistance. So already that boosts your stats. Then you look at the runes. Each rune has a bunch of stats on it. Now that rune says plus 12 on it, and it's a 5-star rune. Much like monsters, 6 stars is the highest it goes. However, runes can only ever go up to 15 levels. So it goes to plus 15, and that's where you get the maximum. So for example, if you look at this white rune at the bottom here, it doesn't have any bonus levels on it. So it only has basic properties, like low properties. So for example, we'll compare it here actually, this is a good comparison because it's the same slot, so it's the same type of stats. Defense 15 and accuracy 5%, as opposed to defense 99, crit damage 3%, 16% HP, 5% resistance, 3% accuracy and 5 speed. So the higher the stars, the higher the base stats you get on it are, and the more properties it tends to have. At levels 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15, you get either a bonus stat added onto the rune, or one of the stats on the rune already gets increased. So for example, this, I should have enough mana to do this. See here on the intricate endure rune here, if we click on power up, once, it costs 500 mana crystals, and you see the defense went up. Do it again, and it tells you it'll go from 22 to 29. Now this is where it's different, because when it goes up to plus 3, you'll see a bonus stat. And bang, we get 5% bonus resistance, which is fantastic. Now if I were to keep doing that at plus 6, you would have a chance of either getting your accuracy percentage going up, your resistance percentage going up, or another stat added. So let's say different stats are needed for different monsters. Some monsters benefit more from HP, some need defense, some need attack, etc, etc. As you can see, the monsters get a lot more powerful. So for example, at level 40, you can see that Garrosh here has 12,000 HP. However, you see on the plus side in the green, he gets a bonus of 20,000 HP. And he gets that bonus because of his runes. Same with the attack, same with the defense, same with the speed. And then you can see his percentages there. There's a 38% chance to crit, etc, etc. Now resistance merely means that I have that amount of chance to resist an incoming negative effect from a monster. and accuracy is the chance to inflict a negative effect on a monster. Now if we go to skill, as you can see again, I worked on Garrosh, so I've upgraded him. Now to upgrade a skill from level 1 to level 2, etc, etc, you need to feed that monster a monster of the same type. So Garrosh is a werewolf, so I need to feed him a werewolf in order to give him a plus to his stats. So, but as you can see, I've fed him, so his Merciless Claws is at its maximum amount. His surprise attack is at its maximum amount. And his wild recovery didn't get a bonus anyway. He also has a leader skill, meaning if he's the leader of my team, they get that bonus. So let's just do a quick dungeon just to show you. When you click on battle, all these areas at the top here, Garden Forest, Mount Seas, etc, are part of the story. Now I'm not going to say anything about the story. Play through the story, enjoy it, see what you think of it. It's not an amazingly it's not encapsulating like say Final Fantasy or the like. It's quite a basic story, but it's still fun to do. And it goes right the way up to Hidden Ruins, then to more desert, right the way around, and right the way across this map. Now the stars on it are the difficulty levels that you've completed. 1 star is normal, 2 stars is hard, 3 stars is hell. And it's just you get better rewards. Each stage has a chance of dropping runes. So if we click here on drop info, it shows you that it drops the energy set here. And then it shows you the monsters it has a chance of dropping. Now where the rune sets is interesting because each stage, you've got 7 stages here. Each stage drops the corresponding number of rune. So the energy runes drop here. If you wanted an energy rune for slot 1, which is at the top of the little circle of runes, you would do stage 1. Rune number 2, stage 2, etc. Stage 7 has a chance of dropping any of the runes. And stage 7 always gives the most XP. So let's do stage 7 just to show you. Click on battle and you see it pops up. It tells you what the end of stage boss is. So here we see it's called Anubis. And it's quite a powerful monster. You tap on them, you can get to see its different skills. Now I'll clear out and you can see here you get 4 monster slots at this level. So I'm going to choose there. So I have that monster as my leader. His leader skill means that I increase the hit points of ally monsters by 33%. That's pretty powerful. I'll just put in a team. Now this dungeon isn't difficult. I can clear it with 1 level 40 monster easily. But I'll chuck some monsters in just to let you see what it's like running through. So there are 2 options with this game as well. You can play it as standard, or you can hit auto mode. Now you see at the bottom left, the cogwheel is how to bring up your options. ×3 is the speed. You can have it at ×1 speed, ×2 speed, or ×3 speed. I'll put it down at ×1 until you see the effects of the attacks. And the play symbol means that it automatically runs the dungeon for you. So now you can see here, first monster is the green circle around it. That means it's the first one to attack. I have first attack, second attack, and third attack. So click on the first attack, then you click on the monster you want to use it on. So bang, there, did a lot of damage. Single attack, and the little red square that appeared above the monster means I inflicted a status effect. That one means I broke his defense. The number is for how many turns it lasts. This Joker here has his 3 attacks. I'm going to use his third attack just to show you what it's like, because it attacks all monsters. And it attacks them multiple times and ignores their defense. As you can see, it hits quite hard. So we'll just run through this. This one's quite fun as well because it has a chance of adding random status effects. Unfortunately they resisted them, so I only added one random status effect there. This one has a chance of stunning, which is just stun 2 monsters and hits all monsters, which is nice. And now here we go, we're on to the final boss. The bosses get cool animations. And the bosses are really quite tough to start with. Like I say, this is really easy for me because this is the first boss you fight. And my monsters are way above that level now. As you can see again, it's got a much bigger hit bar it's got a much bigger bar for hit points than normal monsters do. Now what you've just seen there, additional turn popped up above my monster. The rune set I have in him is a violent rune set, which means I have a chance of getting extra consecutive turns. So there, bang, I just got 2 turns instead of 1 turn against the monster. Now obviously the more it procs, the more often it procs, the less frequently you have a chance of it proccing. So there's a chart up on the Summoners War website that explains how the further into the game, like the more turns you play, the less chance you have of proccing violent effects, because otherwise it's ridiculous. But I've procced 3-4 times in 1 turn, just getting extra attacks, and it can mean the difference between defeating a dungeon and not. So obviously the runes you choose are important. There, I just got a 4-star energy rune for slot 5. So it's not bad, but I don't really need it. So if I wanted to get it, I just click get. I want to sell it, so I can sell it and get 1837 mana crystals. Then you have the option to replay it, and if you're progressing through stages you can go to next stage. So this is the final stage, so you can't. So now that we've done that bit, we're going to go to world map. And as you can see, again, I've cleared a lot of these on hell. That was on hell difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. But it just shows that once you get the monsters, it's not that difficult. Another thing we've got here is what they call the Karos Dungeon. Now, the 2 things at the top here, the Dragon's Lair and the Giant's Keep, are where you can get some very good random ruins of good level. The Dragon's Lair is tough. It just involves killing dragons. Killing random monsters to get to the dragons, then killing the dragons. The dragons are incredibly tough, very hard to beat. As you can see, I haven't cleared basement 8, 9 or 10 on that. Now the giants are slightly easier and drop different random runes. But again, I've cleared all of them. But it's a good way to go and regularly farm runes if you want to try and build up different sets. And obviously the higher the basement that you kill, the higher star on the rune you're likely to get. Then we have the Hall of Magic, which is where you get magic essences. Now essence of magic, low, medium and high, are used to awaken monsters. As are the element dungeons. Today is the Hall of Fire for another 6 hours 43 minutes. And you go in there, you farm that, and you get low, medium or high fire runes in there. Fire essences in there. So. And you would need them to awaken a monster with a fire property. So that's where the grinding comes in. There's a lot of grinding involved in order to get the materials to awaken monsters. But whilst running the element dungeons, you can also randomly get a chance of getting what they call a secret dungeon. Secret dungeon is open to you and all your friends for an hour, and it drops pieces of a monster. So as today's fire, if I were to get a secret dungeon, it would be a fire monster dungeon I would find. You then click on secret dungeon, it would pop up and you would go into it, and it's just a survival wave. Clear 10 waves of more progressively difficult monster, and you'll get more and more pieces to summon. And the higher the star of the monster, the more pieces you need. So for example, to go to summoning here, click on the right bit. When we click on summon here, we've got various different methods of summoning. Unknown scrolls you can buy in the shop, and you can get, they'll drop from different events, dungeons, story mode, everything. Mystical, and they summon between a 1 to 3 star monsters. Mystical scrolls summon 3 to 5 star monsters. They're a lot more expensive in the shop, and they're sometimes awarded to you from the game developer for completing certain achievements or for maintenance time, etc. Mystic summons use the red crystals. Now, the red crystals can be bought if you're a pay-to-play gamer, or they can be earned through different achievements, through different in-game events. They're also sort of the currency you would use, for example, if you want to change the name of your summoner, or if you wanted to get certain special packs and things. They'll pop up special offers, and it'll be either money or mystical red crystals to buy them. Social summons are, you build social points by sending gifts to friends. Again, this the trademark of any online game, especially free to plays, are ones where you click on your friend, click it, send them, you send them 10 points a day. You can have up to 50 friends, so you can send 500 points. Every time you send 10 points, you gain 10 points. So you can get up to 1,000 points a day from sending and receiving points. You also get 10 social points if somebody borrows one of your monsters. So technically you could get up to 1,500 social points a day, and it costs 100 social points to summon. Exclusive summons are summoning stones, a new thing brought in. Summoning stones will randomly drop from dungeons, quite rarely, and you use them, and if you click on that, it shows you the available monsters there in the little panel. You have the chance of summoning any one of them. But you see there, I've got summon Charger Shark, summoning pieces 40 of 40. That's because I did the Charger Shark dungeon and gained enough pieces to summon it, but I'm saving that for just when I need it. And if I click on just the random summon monster bit, it shows you how many pieces you've got of each monster. So for example, if I wanted to summon the Water Pixie, it shows me she's a 2-star monster, which means I only need 20 pieces to summon her, and I have 15 of the 20. I would need to run that dungeon. When the time comes around for that dungeon, I'd need to run it until I had enough pieces to summon. And so there's a big list of all these monsters here, and because I've been playing for a while, I've got pieces from loads of the different dungeons. So that's just about enough energy overload at the moment. The final bit I'm going to show you is what they call the PvP aspect of it. Now it's weird, the PvP, like the arena is PvP. It's your team of 4 monsters against an opponent's team of 4 monsters. However, to introduce you to PvP, they've got some non-player characters who do arena battles the same way. So we attack this guy because we can. It uses an arena invitation, and we can see that he's got his 4 monsters set up there. So I've got my team of 4 monsters set. I'm just going to do a quick switch around because I prefer the different leader skill. See, the leader skill I've put in now gives all my monsters a 19% increased attack speed. And if I can attack first, there's more chance of either killing him or putting negative effects on him to stop him attacking me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this up to 3-star speed because you've seen it all now anyway. See again there, that snowflake there means that that monster's frozen, so it can't attack this turn. You see there, you're just healing himself. It's annoying because some monsters do have a healing ability, which can make the battles last a lot longer. Now we've just got one monster left, so I'll just click the auto so you can see it. The computer then just randomly decides what attacks I'm going to use and attacks the monster. Last thing to mention there, because you'll see some things come up glancing hit, some critical, is the cyclical properties. For example, this here is the War Inugami Awakened. When a monster's awakened, it gets a cool special name. So the awakened water Inugami is called Ikaru. You can see its element water is, this is where Pokemon comes in. Water is effective against fire. Fire is effective against wind. Wind is effective against water. So it's just a triangular system for your damages. And then light is effective against dark, but dark is effective against light. Those two are effective against each other, whilst being weak to each other. They're the unusual one. But for the rest of it, you then have to think about building your team, because if you were going up against a team full of fire monsters, you don't want to take a wind team. You would want to take more of a water team. So that's where in the arena you look at these guys and you get points for defeating them. So you can see there, the little gold medal is 3 arena points. You get 3 points for beating that guy, and you get 2 red crystals. As you can see, there are a lot of different NPCs, and as you go up the levels and complete the story mode, you unlock these guys to fight in the arena. Each one gets more difficult. You can fight these guys once a day, so you can end up getting a good amount of crystals just from fighting them. You can get a good amount of arena points just from fighting them. See here, my rank is 1066. That's not a great arena rank. You start off around about 1000 every week, because it resets your points every week. You can see my rank is 126,000 on the server. Again, not great. If we look at rankings here, you can see the number 1 on the server here, a guy called Alittle. That's 5,208 ranking. You can see I've got a long way to go before I catch up with him. Click on weekly rewards and it shows you, depending on how many arena points you have, your rank depends on how many crystals you get as your weekly award. So currently, because I'm between 1000 and 1100, I would get 20 crystals. You see, as you go up, once you get to Conqueror, 1500 points, you then get monsters as well. So the higher you go, the better the monster is likely to be. But lastly, we'll click on matchup. Now, at the moment, they've just introduced the European server, so the matchup systems are a little bit buggy. Normally, you would only get matched up against players of a similar rank to you. So, for example, I'd get players round about 1000 rank. However, excuse me as I drop things, there has been a problem in that I'm placed up against, as you can see, people with a rank of 1900. Which means they've got very tough teams that I just can't beat. Click on refresh list doesn't really help me any. It doesn't put me against lower players. It's a bug that I'm waiting on them fixing. As you can see, the lower you go, the higher their rating is, and it's a nightmare to try and beat. So I won't get many arena points. Now, other than bragging rights, there is a point to having arena. Click here on shop, and it shows you things you can buy for mana crystals. So for example, you can buy the power up crystal. The power up crystal is what you saw me using to power up my monsters. The magic shop, where you can buy runes and monsters. Temple of Wishes, you get 1 wish a day, and you can get random stuff from wishing. It is completely random. Crystal Mine gives you red crystals. Not very often, you usually get 2 to 3 a day at most, but crystals are crystals. As you can see, there's a lot of these things, and then there's things like trees and rocks that you can use if you want to decorate your island. I just can't be bothered with that. Here on Expand, you can see obviously the more buildings and stuff you get, the more space you're going to need, so you buy your expansions. Glory Shop. See down the bottom left on the medals, you see I have 63 glory. And it shows you the price of each of these items. So an unknown scroll is 12 glory. Mystic scroll, you can only buy 1 mystic scroll a week, and it's 240. We'll go through this. say Fire Scroll is a 3 to 5 star monster of fire property. Wind is exactly the same, but wind property. Now here we have a Devilmon. Devilmon are unusual, because Devilmon can't be used to attack or defend. Devilmon are purely used as food, but the monster you feed the Devilmon to gets a skill up. So it's a really easy way of powering up powerful monsters. So instead of having to feed a powerful monster another powerful monster, you just feed it Devilmon. Angelmon are used for giving XP to your monsters. They give a lot of XP to a monster that's of the same elemental property as it. And all these things, the sanctuaries, just add power to your monsters. So for example, a Dark Sanctuary gives, at level 1, gives any dark monsters 3% attack bonus. So again, ways to make yourself more powerful. You then have the cash shop, which shows that you can buy a recharge of energy. Energy is what you use to do dungeons and everything, and it costs you 30 crystals. Recharge arenas, you can buy manas, different bundles of mana there. And then you have what you pay if you really want to buy the crystals. Now the free one is, as per all game developers that give you free games and pay to win games, you can earn crystals if you download and play one of their other games. So there, for Soulseeker you get 24 crystals. Sometimes worth doing it, even if you don't want to play the game, download it, play it a little bit, delete it, and you still get your crystals. Special is what I mentioned before. 225 crystals gets you a Summoner's Pack. That includes 3 Mystic Scrolls. Now if you were doing red crystal summons at 75 a pop, you notice it works out at the same price, but with this you get an extra 30,000 mana and a random Angelmon. Premium pack, it's the same thing, except you get a bonus Mystic Scroll, 100,000 mana and an Angelmon for each attribute. So if you're patient enough, which I'm not, it's worthwhile saving up to get the 750 premium pack. You can buy XP boosters, which double your XP gain for whatever you do with your monsters, and you can change your name. Because sometimes deciding Captain Teabag maybe wasn't the best name, you might want to rename it after a while if you like the game. So that's basically Summoner's War in a nutshell. So here, just click on those things. I'm collecting mana crystals because they build up over time. But no, so it's quite a simple game, but it's really engaging and really good fun. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this, and let's say give it a try, see what you think. And as always, let me know in the comments, see what you think of it. Any requests? So if you play Summoner's War or fancy playing it at all, give me a nudge in the comments box, give me your username and I'll add you, and you can then feel free to use my monster and see what you think of it. So this is FLG Chili signing off. Just remember, you don't have to be MLG, just be FLG.